We have another one. We're going to strip this thing all the way down, and we're going to paint it. And we're going to give it a patina look. And then we're going to put it all back together, and you guys are going to follow along. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to build brake lines, a brake line for this bike. Got our line, got our fittings. We'll go ahead and just measure this out, do rough measurements. Naturally, just follow the old line. This is the line we're gonna cut it out. Put our handy dandy tool in the vise here. Start on our fitting. Start on our fitting here. Okay. So what this does is this clamps down on the fitting here, and then we're just going to take a wrench and turn that in until it tightens up. Let's say 7/16. So now that it's completely flush here, we're going to go ahead and turn it an extra turn. There we go. There we go. There's our fitting. We'll do the same thing to the other end, and we'll install it on the bike.
I have the rear fender here for Thor's FatBoy, and we're going to begin to give it a patina paint job. So took this fender, which we just installed real quick when we first bought it a few years ago, just sprayed it black like the rest of the bike, and now we're going to go back and make it look a little fancier. Still going to go with that kind of rat rod feel. So we're going to do a artificial patina, so we're going to have worn and rusted areas that show up on the the fender, and then we'll clear over that whole thing and keep along with the theme of the bike. So we're going to start by just sanding what we've got here so that we can start with layers of primer or sealer and primer, and then different layers of color that then we'll scuff back. this paint job, before everybody busts on me, is not designed, it's not going to be a perfect show quality finished paint job. What we're going for, we don't have the budget on this particular job to do this awesome, perfectly glossy, smooth paint job with all the body work fixed and repaired and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to make it look cool, and we're going to disguise the low budget with a bit of art. And that art is going to be the patina look. And some of the patina is going to be real from the various layers of paint that's on this tank and the various dents and scratches and scuffs and things that it had on it. The paint that was already peeling and all that. And some of the patina we're going to add to give it a little bit, give it back a little symmetry and a little bit of a sleeker, smoother line. So once again, don't harp on me about, oh, you should be using this sealant and this paint and this process and all that kind of stuff, because that's not what we're going for here. We don't have the budget for that. We certainly have the capability to do that, but you know, that's a few $1,000s worth of work, and we're going for something a whole lot more economical. We're doing this bike for a friend of ours, and we're just going to give him back something that looks really cool. That's the beauty of doing like this type of patina paint job, is you can tell like these nozzles, they're not super good. Like Duplicolor is the best, I think, for doing this kind of project. Like there are some other brands out there, absolutely stay away from. I hate Rust-Oleum, they're the worst. Some other brands that I don't have good luck with. Duplicolor seems to be the best. They have really good nozzles that are easy to use, but any spray paint can is going to give you some splatter. You can kind of see the splatter. If you're trying to lay out a perfect paint job with this, you'd have a hard time because of all the splatter and things like that. But since we're adding color and sanding it back and adding more color and sanding it back, doing all that kind of stuff, none of that's going to matter in the end.
bike lived outside, lived a hard life in this Florida weather. So what we're doing here is we're getting all the mold cleaned off of the wires and the looms, and just getting the chrome cleaned up, getting it all shiny, touching up some rusty bare spots.
Lay down a light tack coat first. Don't try to change the color all in one.
Why?
Because then you're basically laying down the light sticky coat to kind of initially kind of adhere to your primer and your sanding, and then give something for a thicker coat of the paint to kind of stick to. It'll help reduce runs and sags, which are where you get like liquid kind of dripping on your tank. A lot of the time, the fun projects are the ones where we aren't spending a lot of money. We're doing it with passion and heart. We're going for something that's cool, a good end result, but the budget may not be there, or the budget may not be needed. This is one of those times, and this is how we're doing this paint. We don't have the money on this particular project to go ahead and just refurbish this thing back to like new condition. So what we're doing right here is using the natural kind of damage and wear and love that's on this tank and juicing it up with a little bit of faux patina to add back in some streamlining and some sense of direction and some symmetry. So before you go on and get all hot and bothered about you did this wrong in the paint and you did that wrong in the paint, realize that we're just having fun.
So here I'm cleaning the engine cases, just get them shined up.
Whose toothbrush is that, Ace?
That's mine. I got it out of the toilet. Definitely got it out of the toilet. Right there I'm using purple power to get all the old grime and gunk off.
Yeah, this bike had definitely sat outside and the weather had taken its toll on it. Thor likes the rat bike look, but there's a limit.
Yeah. And on the spark plug wires there was all kinds of mold and old aged gunk. I feel like this came out really nice. Well, the cylinder heads, it's really hard to get into this, it cracks. But wipey wipey.
And that's all still just purple power?
It's all purple power.
Okay, we're going to change the color of the tank again.
Are we going blue on black like the song?
Black and blue.
Black and blue.
All bruised up.
I couldn't never get my paint to come out that nice. Mine always has runs in them.
There's a few sags in there. That's another beauty of doing it this way, is it's very forgiving when you're going to be sanding and back so much stuff. And actually, sometimes the sags look cool when they end up being sanded through.
Is this purple?
Purple? He wants a black tank. What are we doing?
Oh, hell.
It is still way too windy out to be spray painting.
I can see that. Oh, look here.
That is some charcoal, nasty toothpaste, Ace.
It's a charcoal toothpaste.
You might not want to brush your teeth with that. Don't think that's getting the coffee stains off.
Yeah, but look how shiny it looks. Imagine it'd take the coffee stains off. Just replace with
cover them up anyway.
Gingivitis. So here I'm just taking a rejuvenate and.
This is actually Harley's product for doing the fairing inners. Isn't that what you're using right there?
Yep, inner fairings, yep. But I found over the years that this stuff really works well on the engine cases. Scrubby, 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 scrubby.
Ooh.
Shiny.
Did take a scrubby pad to the edge of those fins, though.
Yeah, but if you look, it does this like dark.
Hey, what's that part, Ace?
That's a fuel tank rubber gasket.
Trim.
Trim.
We just looked it up. We had to do our homework before this video because we're like, what is that called? We know it's going to be in the video.
Yeah.
So we looked it up. Fuel tank, rubber trim.
Fuel tank rubber trim. This had a bunch of mold on it. So we cleaned it with some purple power and scrubbed it down. And we're back to paint.
Okay, we're going to change the color again. I think I might be actually putting black on it this time.
That don't look like black.
It doesn't look like black. I think we're
Still
cutting
purple.
back between what you're doing and what I'm doing, which actually happened to be going on at the exact same time.
At least the weather's nice.
Yeah, this is actually a purple, but it is a, it's their metal cast line, so it's a translucent purple. Hopefully it'll end up, I've never used that particular style of paint in this type of paint job, but hopefully it'll turn out good. Like I said, it's art. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to end up with until you're all done.
Now we're going on with the exhaust.
That is ceramic coated by Harrison Powder Coating. Shout out to Alex. See how there's like shiny dots in through here? You know,
Yes.
this is where it's perfectly smooth right here for the most part.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of, you know,
Bumpy
because
right
bumpy
there.
right there. Yeah, because that was some orange peel. So I'm sanding. I'm not only exposing the colors right now, but I'm also making it flat. The clear coat will be shiny, like you know, see yourself in it type shiny.
Yeah.
But it'll only get that way and reflect light if everything is nice and flat. Two-part, so you have to do over here. That will mix internally the components that will allow it to harden and harden well, so it's an epoxy paint, not a standard lacquer. Like when I was sanding before, to get through, I was using 220. This is 800, so it's 4 times as fine. You can actually do it by feel to a certain degree. This feels very different than this side does.
You can feel the orange peel?
Oh yeah.
What's that one?
2,500.
How high are we going?
5,000